Here's something everyone knows, but nearly everyone forgets in practice. Human beings, we suck at predicting the future. I know it's not a big newsflash, but it is something that people forget. When it comes to setting up and achieving our goals, we often set the bar far too high in relation to our ability to judge outcomes flawlessly. Yet we hold the expectation that we can and we must know with certainty what the results of an action will be before we even consider doing it. This is how you screw yourself from making progress and critically from getting precious feedback on what not to do. One of the biggest wins you can give yourself is to eliminate the idea that you must know the outcome of something with a high level of certainty before you're willing to take action. Instead, adopt the winner's attitude. Everything is a test. Until we know how specific results are created, we need to accept that most of what you try won't work. Therefore, embrace the idea that everything is a test, and you'll free yourself up from needing to know all of the steps first before taking action to achieve your goal. A more useful way to think about the effects of our actions is to see everything you engage in as an experiment. It's an experiment that gives you feedback which informs the next actions you take. When you pursue a new goal and you take some action, you either discover what to do more of or what not to do. Timely feedback is vital and essential in figuring out what to do more of. When you embrace the mindset that everything is a test, you don't need to feel frustrated or get despondent if, at first, second, or even third attempt at something fails to produce the desired result. You can choose to respond differently, to learn something, to improve. And I highly recommend you take this on as a practice. Now, of course, you don't need to figure out everything for yourself. Most of the goals you're pursuing, someone has already accomplished it. So there will be clues, signposts, or maps that others have created that you can follow. That said, every situation will have unique elements, so you need to be able to think for yourself. And this goes double when things don't go the way you want. You see, when that happens, don't do what a lot of people do, which is to bitch, to whine, to moan. Become really curious. Identify what effects are your actions creating and what can you learn from them. Ask yourself, what has to be corrected? Then run a new experiment. Remember, frequently when we're pursuing our goals, we're operating with imperfect information. We don't know what we don't know. We may have little experience in what it takes to create the result that we want. Hence, so many of our decisions we're going to take are simply going to be judgment calls. And good judgment is the result of experience, and experience, as you know, is so often the result of bad judgment. My recommendation is to be compassionate with yourself. If you can find someone who's achieved the same or similar result, then that's great. Be prepared to ask them some really good questions so you can compress the time it takes to get the same result. But in the absence of that, embrace experimentation. Test. Embrace feedback. It's your friend. Think, what's the minimal test that I can do to get some data on this, especially if you're in an area that you're struggling? Then take action. Get some data, use that data to inform your next move. If the test works and you get closer to your goal, do more of that. And if it doesn't, learn what you can from that and then modify your approach. Your mantra can be experiment, learn, progress.